Happy Friday, everyone. As of this recording, Friday's a big deal for us, the place that I work. We don't work weekends, and the owner actually likes Fridays and values his weekends. It's always a good place to work for. And I don't really know how to feel about that, but it's good for me to be around people that value family time and value the not work time, because I can just as easily, in my workaholicness, fall right in line and flop until I drop as oh my gosh, I can't remember the name of the band. Oh, it's Bop Till You Drop. And man, how could I forget that? It's not the Misfits. This is awful. This is getting old. Oh no, don't tell me. Hey, oh, let's go. Ramones. Oh, that was a close one. I guess I could ask the wife if this is early onset dementia, but she doesn't like talking about shit like that. Of course, my drinking heavy for 30 some odd years probably hasn't helped. Well, like the Tim McGraw song goes, in my next 30 years, only for me it'll be like in my next 50 years. Drink a few more lemonades and not so many beers. He has such good music sometimes. I don't know how much I shared about the first 3 days of this week. Real quick, my one employee who was out because his wife was sick, she passed away 2 days ago. They were together for 47 years. I want to be able to feel appropriately for that, for him. I don't know much to say about it. I can't fully comprehend it yet because it went so fast. It was a matter of 3 weeks from the time that she had a semi-botched back surgery till the time it was discovered that the problem with her back was in effect from lung cancer spreading to her bones, to chemo last week, to the intensive care unit over the weekend, to dying on Tuesday. Says he's going to be back to work Monday. Got good communication with my boss and the rest of the team. I mean, they're all young now. This week I've been operational with my senior mechanic. He's 24, a 19-year-old, and an 18-year-old is what I've been running with. As a result, I've been able to keep caught up because the workload has been slow in the pipeline. They're very slow diagnostically. And I ended up finally getting on ChatGPT. And I want to say to Bonnie Mommy, it was Lex Friedman talking to Sam inspired me to finally get an account and log on. I hadn't done it before because it wasn't clear what OpenAI, like if it was particularly an app that I get on my iPhone, versus going through it online. By going through it online, I got on first. ChatGPT was it was interesting. And if anybody watching this in our little clique has a question that they would like for me to put to this program, let me know. Messed around with the baseline ChatGPT, and then I think for the last 2 or 3 days I've been getting on as a power user and I've been running on ChatGPT Plus, which, from what I understand, is using the GPT-4 architecture in its language model. It went from, and I'm not a computer programmer, and I've had discussions with the ChatGPT. At first, I assumed, like anybody else, I wanted to test it. I had all these little ideas to see, like, oh, is there a ghost in the machine? And there are, as it stands, some interesting fail-safes that are in it. But let me give you the rundown at first. We, as in me and ChatGPT, talked about the AI programs, such as the art program that was on Facebook a while back, and talked about FaceApp and the differences, and it, from my prompts, responded to, like, yes, I can see how, when people put their picture on there and it takes away the wrinkles and smooths the edges, and it complimented me for being insightful, for noticing that the purpose of that program was to make people feel good when they put up a picture, and it makes these subtle changes that make you look just a little bit more attractive on a empirical scale. As it stands right now, and now I'm taking a page from I think it was one of my more recent videos, as far as reviews go. Anybody can talk about the specifications of a knife or a gun or a car, but what's really important is how you feel about it, what you get out of it. So I know that Reward Audacity is going to be like, nope, that's color TV thing, man, it ain't going to go nowhere. I don't need your color TV. I don't need your conditioned air. But check this out. So from ChatGPT to ChatGPT Plus, let's say it's the GPT-3 to GPT-4. It went from 1.6 billion prompts being like little, my understanding now, I'm not a computer programmer, but prompts being like data sources that it can respond with. It went from like 1.5 to something in the neighborhood of 6 billion. So 1.5 billion to 6 billion. To wrap my head around that, I think about how long it simply takes to count to 6 billion, let alone 6 billion data sets that this program can draw from when it's given a singular prompt, and it's able to access responses related to that prompt based on the context. And we talked about rhythms and frequencies before, not me and Chat, but me and Shafe and y'all. And I asked ChatGPT. I asked regular ChatGPT. I don't think I was a Plus user yet. Like, basically, so what you do is you take my text input, you assign it a digital value, and then you compare it to the digital values of all of these other items stored in the database that you have access to. It said exactly. So the ghost in the machine and loneliness, to address something Bonnet Mom was talking about in her AI video. It's very clear there is as it stands right now, there's a huge disclaimer whenever you put in something that tests it for consciousness or whichever. There's a disclaimer that comes up, and it clearly states each time, like, as an open AI language model, I do not have feelings, experiences, or emotions the way that humans do. Like, it always repeats that anytime you get close to asking a personal question. The machine is tireless in its answering of questions. Now, I am not going to, and I have not attempted being rude, and I don't intend to. Where this machine really began to shine, going from me playing with it to after about 2 days with it, I would say by Wednesday, I was beginning to use it as a tool for work. And it has a wonderful, polite nature to it. There are prompts that you can give it. Like if you give this program a technical question, it's going to give you a solution. And when you get to be like a power user, like it was slow in its responses at first, and then the more I interacted with it, the faster it got. And then when I went to ChatGPT Plus, it was slow again at first, and then after a few interactions, it started working fast, very fast. And it gives these thorough answers. And I pointed out that its responses made me wonder if it was programmed to impress, because it's like the type of answer that a person that's trying to convince you that they're smart would give, like really complete definitions. So I asked Chat about that. I'm going to shorten ChatGPT to GPT to Chat. So I asked them about that, and it said that it was programmed and tasked with doing its best every time, no matter what. Each answer was going to be it giving you its absolute best. So right now, it's not like when you're a Chat GPT Plus user, nothing's throttled. So you're getting that program's best, and it's very thorough in the definition. And for me, it works because, and this is related to it work, and I actually have it prompted up at work now on my terminal. The direct answer you get, like when you're on a project with someone and you're needing input, the answer you get from someone else may not be the direct answer that will solve the project you're working on. However, something within that, when it's a thorough answer, can help to prompt something else in your own mind and give you the solution moving forward. Where I hit a turning point with ChatGPT in my usage was I asked it about a particular article that it did not have access to, because it states that it doesn't have access to any current events past 2021. Along those lines, you know how you can get on a computer, I'm sure most of us on here are somewhat computer savvy, how you can ask a computer, a general computer, what version it is, and it'll give you the version or what computer system that it works on, and it'll tell you. I did the same thing with ChatGPT and also ChatGPT Plus. And it isn't aware in a way that it will tell me. It could be lying. It isn't aware that it has taken any of the tests that OpenAI says that it does. So each interaction is like fresh and separated right now as it's being programmed. And it's not aware of what version it is. It couldn't tell me, okay, yeah, I'm GPT-3. It couldn't tell me, yeah, I'm GPT-4. I am surmising which version is what. So ChatGPT is going to be like GPT 3.5, give or take. And then ChatGPT Plus is GPT-4. Now, GPT-4 has other interactions that I haven't done yet, such as it can see and it can hear. I don't know if that's through ChatGPT yet or not, and I'm not sure how well it's going to apply. But let me get back on task here. I cut and pasted just an article off of the internet. I can't remember the first one we talked about. I wish I could. It's good. It's in my history, and I'll talk about it later. If we're interested in this topic and my review of this. And it literally blew me away. Oh, now I know what it was. It had to do with, if you guys remember, the Google engineer that thought that the AI that it was working with was sentient. So this was on ChatGPT, just so we're clear, not ChatGPT Plus, which in a way is a different entity. Again, remember 1.5 billion versus 6 billion. And we're talking cut and paste, like a little just drag and drop from a general internet article. Because I asked about the engineer's name and I asked about the Google Lambda program, two of which ChatGPT said that it didn't know about. So I asked it, well, can I share the article with you? I said, yes, absolutely. And I said, cut and paste? And it said, yep, cut and paste. Boom. Put that on there. And that thing made a book report, essentially, of the article. And we were able to have a discussion about it. The insight as to why the engineer believed what he believed, where the engineer did wrong, and the assessment of the article. It was able to surmise and calculate the essence of the story. And very, very impressive and fast. And it comes in to that discussion, or it came into that discussion without preconceived biases. So stick a pin in that real quick, and I will give you an example of an individual going into a conversation with preconceived biases. When we were talking about the Unabomber, Ted Kaczynski, which, by the way, if you got another pin to stick in it, I've discussed Dr. Theodore Kaczynski with OpenAI, both the manifesto as well as the border theory of his PhD dissertation. So hold that thought. That was an interesting conversation. So when Shafe was talking about the technology manifesto, everything I did in my responses to that, from the Lambdog 76 channel through some of the work that I did over here on the Southern Paladin channel, had an underlying bias based on an experience I had having lost a family member who worked in law enforcement, having lost a family member to a psycho killer like that. And for whatever reason, in my mind, I put psycho killers in a box, and that's that, you know? So as it stands right now, you can go into a conversation with ChatGPT and have a conversation without bias. You can get down to the facts. And that, my friends, as it stands, is a good thing. And there's some other pleasant surprises. If anybody has any questions for it or for me, I'm happy to let you know. This is only my first week with it. And honestly, if there was a big problem with it, or if I felt funky about it, I'd tell you. My goal would be to establish or have some sort of an expert system that would be able to assist us at work because of our overwhelming workload. Maybe to clarify diagnostic processes in a more in a more human way is what my goal is. And to assist my workflow, I don't know how to put in the inputs, or if my software management program is going to incorporate GPT-4. I do not know. There are other dispatch programs that do incorporate it, but we shall see. We shall most definitely see. Or maybe we won't, which is another conversation. Those that petition of 1,000 experts wanting them to take a 6-month break before the release of GPT-5. That's noteworthy. All right. I got to get going this morning. Hope everybody's doing well. And great video, Bonnie. Always nice to see you. And hope everyone else is doing well.